Testing, testing. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Kellie and I are proud members of CEIR working group, and I am the executive assistant for now 2 years. This is my second conference, and it's truly an honor being in the room with each and every one of you. I'm seeing some familiar faces and some new faces, so that's always exciting. Thank you to our sports teams, Pittsburgh Steelers, Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Pittsburgh Penguins for all your support and for being here with us. And Kellie and I are going to be going over a short script for you guys, and it's basically talking about our CEIR playbook, which that's what our focus is for this conference today. And Kellie, you ready to get started? So thank you all for being here in the rain. As you see, I got caught in it, so it's all good. We're going to make the best of today. And yeah, go ahead and get started. So, and for those of you that were not here last year, we upgraded on the breakfast because we had boxed breakfast last year. So I said, let's give them something hot, right? It's cold. It's the week of Thanksgiving. Let's get them some real food. So thank you to Duquesne University for that as well. But again, I'm Shayla Holmes, Executive Assistant of CEIR. I also work in violence prevention with Coalition Against Violence as the Peace Summit Coordinator. So be sure to come out to one of our Peace Summits as well if you're interested. Come find me. I don't have my name tag on, but I will have it on shortly. But 76%, okay, of U.S. employees and job seekers said that a diverse workforce is an important factor whenever they are evaluating companies and different job offers. And workforce and supplier statistics say that every $1 spent, listen to this, guys, with a certified minority business enterprise in Pittsburgh yields at least a 1.5% impact in the community, right? And we can send you guys this script if you would like to see it yourself. So, Kellie, I'll hand it over to you.
So a healthy economy depends on inclusion. The competitive strength of our region's businesses and organizations and the quality of life available to our citizens and families depends on the full and fair participation of all segments, again, one more time, all segments of the community and the region's economic growth. Stagnant socioeconomic opportunities, an aging workforce, and high levels of poverty have a detrimental impact on the desirability of a region and can lead to the loss of talented younger workers who are so important to future economic prosperity.
Yes, thank you. And we all know this in the room that the commitment must come from where? The owners, the top, right? The top leadership, boards, and displayed throughout the entire organization and company. And I can honestly say that we have that leadership with each of our sports teams. And we are urging that all corporations, right, all universities and colleges and all major nonprofits, that we clearly make the implementation of meaningful and measurable diversity, equity, and inclusion as a top priority. Can we clap for that? Like asking our top leaders and owners. So it is so important. And we know that the goal is that we must embed, right? Everything must be embedded into that system. It needs to become a part of the culture, right? A part of the norm, I like to say. And again, the commitment comes from the highest level of leadership.
So the entire Pittsburgh region will benefit from your actions. If business entities, it's partly your responsibility to help to rectify these inequalities. Equity and inclusion is a goal that benefits all of us and increases your personal bottom line as well as just being the right thing to do.
Yeah, and the CEIR objective is to develop strategies for diversity and hiring and to create an effective campaign that raises awareness about the value of having a diverse workforce, right? So that's what we're all about in CEIR. And the B-PEP CEIR playbook, which we're going to be talking more about shortly, and throughout the day, it basically advocates, right, for the widespread adoption and implementation of policy changes among our partners, and of course that includes corporations, universities, colleges, and nonprofits.
So the playbook that we keep talking about is in your books. well, your folders. The book is inside your folders. The book would not be inside of a book. That would be weird. So the book is inside of your folders. And while we were calling it the Playbook for short, it advocates for the use of the comprehensive Rooney Rule with results, because we know Tim likes a full title. So it's not just the Rooney Rule, it's a comprehensive Rooney Rule with results. And it advocates that African Americans and people of color be considered for all positions. So that's entry level to the C-suite. It's not true diversity if we're just at any one given level. For all contracting and all procurement, opportunities. We're calling for all major employers throughout the region to measure diversity and inclusion in its workforce, again, at each level and in total. This approach is called the Rooney Resolve. What it means is that an organization can sometimes have a significant percentage of African American employees in its workforce, but a huge percentage of those employees could be segregated to the lowest level of their ranks, which would project an inaccurate depiction of the organization's true commitment to DEI, because of course, we don't want to be highly interior companies or organizations and segregated to the lowest levels.
And the other policy that we're actually advocating is ban the box, okay? And ban the box actually give those with criminal backgrounds the opportunity to start life anew, right? And we're asking that our partners commit to accountability covering these few areas, okay? We want to expand the commitment to develop, mentor, promote, and retain current African American and other people of color as employees in all areas, as well as recruit new ones, right? We want to identify and implement corporate best practices for achieving the highest levels of diversity in both employment and in contractual opportunities. We want to commit to creating a pool of resources to invest long-term into a talented diversity pool. And we want to include the principles of workplace diversity, equity, and inclusion in the performance evaluations, which you can find that in the playbook as well. And we want that to be a performance evaluation from high-level managers, both for those who hire and for those who are responsible for awarding of different contracts. And this approach gives direct personal incentives for people in key positions to help achieve meaningful diversity, equity, and inclusion.
So we're asking that everyone implement the goals that Shayla just described throughout the entire organization. It must be a collective and global commitment in your organization. You have to, as part of that, identify an individual or team to monitor and evaluate the status of implementation of all of these strategies and action steps, because as we all know, if it's nobody's responsibility, it's nobody's responsibility.
And here are some of the strategies and action steps, and Tim loves that word because he likes to put each of our words in bold, and that's for a reason, because he wants the action behind it, right? So you all will notice that.
You should tell them where it's bolded,
yes,
so they know which one it is.
Absolutely. So here are some of those action steps for successful implementing, right? Number one, we want to increase and expand market opportunities for suppliers owned by African Americans and other people of color by utilizing the following strategies. We want to utilize and use the comprehensive Rooney Rule with results. Let's not forget the with results. Kelly?
Okay, want to broadcast, and we're going to lean in a little bit because that's what Shayla started. That's where the bold is. We're going to broadcast business opportunities to the widest possible market of product and service providers. We're going to commit to a specific spend goal for African Americans and people of color suppliers based on the total company's annual spend commitment. And we're going to provide pre-bid open house events with specific emphasis on African Americans and people of color.
All right. And we're going to explore how your organization can be more aggressive. I like that word, aggressive. In marketing contracts and vendor opportunities to African Americans and other people of color, including expanded use of existing Black-based marketing entities, right? We want to provide extensive and recurring opportunities to African Americans and other people of color for non-bid contracts. And we want to establish, right, measurable goals for procurement with a commitment to have annual or semi-annual meetings with leadership teams to review the progress.
Okay. We're going to provide annual published reports on the utilization of vendors who are African Americans or other people of color. We're going to create and expand initiatives that significantly improve access to capital for businesses owned by African Americans and other people of color, and increase corporate and business participation in minority chambers of commerce, economic development programs, and business development councils.
And we also want to significantly increase the diversity of your board of directors and the leadership teams that you all represent, right? Particularly in terms of the presence of African American and people of color. We want to ensure that your corporate cultures is such that diversity, equity, and inclusion are valued, promoted, and expected through action, words, and deeds. And here are some recommended action steps.
Implementing the comprehensive Rooney Rule with results to assure interviewing African Americans and other people of color for all job opportunities. Broadcasting employment opportunities to the widest possible market of qualified candidates. Appointing at least one African American or other person of color to every interview panel when possible. That's important, y'all. We forget that sometimes, but we got to be on both sides of that table to maximize results.
Absolutely, Kelly. And we also want to identify and eliminate informal barriers, right? We know there's a lot of those, to employment, to promotion, and retention of African Americans and other people of color, assuring the consistent use of ban the box, which we did explain. We want to also evaluate internal staffing plans to ensure African Americans and other people of color are aware of and given consideration for promotional opportunities.
We want to ensure developmental opportunities such as mentoring, networking, training, professional development are provided for all African Americans and other people of color. Providing opportunities for sponsorship from entry level to the C-suite. Conducting retention interviews with African Americans and other people of color on a semi-annual or annual basis.
All right. And our plan encourages these action steps. And we simply want to encourage staff participation on community boards serving African American and other people of color. And we also want to increase the corporate allocations for sustainable projects and invest in, I like that word, invest. How many of you like that word, invest? Invest in and create jobs within African American and diverse neighborhoods, which we know is very, very important as well. And thank you, Kelly, for reading with us.
Thank you, Shayla, for having me.
And we are going to now move forward in our program, and we're going to welcome Bill Flanagan back up. Thank you, guys.